All right. We're back far enough. Oh, no, push this thing up. All right. Hello. It's Friday night, my favorite class. I had started a story at the end of the last class. So on Monday, I don't know if it was announced that Joel Schumacher, who is the director of Lost Boys, and I think the second Fat Man, maybe, I don't remember. He passed away, he was 80. But when I used to, so my job before yoga teaching, and it kind of crossed over a little bit, I used to do, I used to install like movie theaters and work on people's like sound systems at their house. So I would go to Joe Schumacher's house. He was one of our clients. He had a really cool house. He had like all of his wood, like his molding and his doors had been like sandblasted. So that it was like a raw wood, but it had a texture to it. He had a really cool house. He also had an English butler who was a really cool dude who I got to know. Actually, he hired me to do some audio work at his home too, privately. He was a really nice guy. Um, I met Joel a couple of times, but didn't really interact with him. But I would go, and his butler would let me in to work on his stereo system, which was on this big thing in his bedroom, which had like a giant television and then these big speakers and everything. So I used to have to I was always like the agile person with the people that I worked with. So I would have to always do things like climb up on shit or climb under the building because I was the one that could do it because I was a big yoga person. Plus I was small and still am. And so for Joel's stuff, for me to get up there, I had to move a bunch of stuff, and I was moving this couch, and this couch was like kind of at the foot of his bed, but then the couch sat where then you would look up at his television. So it's like the bed, the couch, and then the television stereo system, which I had to work on. So I had to move the couch. I don't exactly remember why, 'cause it was more than a decade ago, but I had to move the couch. So I lifted up one side and I moved it, and there were all these pillows on it. And this really big pillow on the left side, it fell forward. And there was a small pillow behind it, maybe like about this big. And embroidered on that pillow was, "You're living your dream, don't miss it." And I saw that and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I like stopped in my tracks and I went to my toolbox and I got a Sharpie. And I think if I go in a drawer, I might still have it. I had the directions I was installing these LED things on his, so he could use his remote on and I had the directions for that. And I wrote on that with my Sharpie, "You're living your dream, don't miss it." And I shoved it in my toolbox. And that is where what I say at the end of class comes from, that was embroidered on Joel Schumacher's, this pillow that was stuck behind another pillow on his couch. And it really made a big impact. And it made me in that moment really think about my life and my time and what I wanted to do. And that became, my thing. So, all right, thank you for coming. It's Easy Friday. Those of you, and by the way, if you have like a belty thing or a strap or an actual belt that's coming around you, hang on a second. Oh, thank you, Terry. Yeah, it was a cool story, man. And let me see, no, great. Okay, yoga. If you need a strap, that's cool. And if you're not down with like the easy, light class that we do on Friday and you still want a workout, you can do a vinyasa in between a lot of the poses, and I'll yell out, "Do a vinyasa." And if you don't know, most of you know me, but a vinyasa is stepping back to push up, lowering down, then up dog and down dog, and then you jump back to a seated position. Maybe I'll do the first one with you today. But let's start like we've started many of the Friday classes with the Deer Mudra. God, I still feel that so much right there. This is like hand yoga. So this finger's supposed to go back a little more. He's, oh, there he is. He's getting there. Oh, there he is. So we're going to take this knuckle, and this is some breathing exercises, which will be great for your lungs and also great for your mind. And we're going to stick the knuckle of the bent fingers, which are the peace fingers coming down, are going to come right against the third eye so that we have space for the breath to come in and out so we're not breathing back in our breath. So we're going to take the two fingers over here and close the left nostril. And we're going to breathe in through the right. We're going to close that right nostril and then breathe out through the left. Good. Now back in through the left. Close both, out through the right. Back in through the right. Close both, out through the left. In through the left. Close both, out through the right. In through the right. Close both, out through the left. In through the left. Close both, out through the right. Let's do a few more. In through the right. Close both, out through the left. In through the left. Close both, out to the right. In through the right. Close both, out to the left. One more, in through the left. Close both, out to the right. And we're going to go in through the right to breathe into the left side of the brain. Breathe in. And then let it all go. Awesome. Let's do a little bit of a light cobra. Let me bring this down, and I'm going to go back over here. We're going to get onto the belly, so go ahead and get onto your belly. So on the belly, now you could do up dog and down dog, but let us start real light with the toes pointing back, and put the hands right down, let me go further back, next to your shoulders on both sides. So we're not pushing the hands against the mat, they're just there. And we're going to take a breath in and lift up. And then we're going to put the knees down and push into child's pose. The knees need to be far enough apart so you can come down into that space, lengthen the arms out. And we're going to take a few breaths here. We're drawing the breath in through the nose and out through the nose, and we'll maybe talk a little bit more about that when I get up to the top, but it's the yogic breathing from Ashtanga that I always talk about. Good, let's come back up, back to the belly, back down. This is called cobra again, no weight on the hands. Look up, breath in, and then knees down, push the hands now on the mat, and come back to child's pose again. Lengthen out towards the fingers. Just breathing here. You can put your forehead down on the mat, but lengthen out. And this is actually really good for opening the lower back. We're going to do two more. On the last one, if you want to, we'll do a vinyasa. I'll show you again what that is, but this is the third one. Let's do it again, just coming to cobra, back down onto the belly. Hands next to the shoulders. We look up. Knees down, hands push on the mat. Back to child's pose. This is a great alternative to the heavy work we do on the Monday and Wednesday class if you ever are feeling like you're not up for that. A couple more breaths here. So last one's your choice. You can go to cobra again, coming down on the belly, or you can go top of push-up, which is what, like I was talking about for our vinyasa. So if you wanted to do this in between the seated poses, so we lower down and then up dog instead of cobra, and then down dog. But if you're doing it between the poses, you'll have to jump to a seated position. So we'll all come to a seated position, and we're going to put the right hand out, keep that shoulder down, it always jumps up, grab the fingers, and let's do the yogic breathing, drawing the breath in through the nose, pushing the breath out of the nose, listening to the sound of the breath, maybe restricting the throat. Hang on a second. Did something happen over there? Oh, okay. I thought the Wi-Fi went off. All right, good. Let's do the other side. Sorry, I was having an electricity issue. And here we go, other side, drawing the breath in, pushing the breath out. Good. Those of you that want to, vinyasa, the rest of us are going to reverse plank. So I'll go sideways again so you can see it. Feet straight out. Hands now, so they're underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing up towards the feet. We're going to lift up and look at the ceiling. Great. And then let's come back down. We're going to bend the right leg with the right foot against the thigh. This knee, you can push it down if it is not staying down. And we're going to do our dynamic movement, left on left. We're going to reach the right arm up, breathing in. As we breathe out, we're going to fold it all the way down, and then all the way back up, breathing in, and back down, and over. Out breath on the downward fold. The same breathing in and out through the nose that we just talked about. You can restrict the throat if you like. Excellent. Next time you're up, go ahead and stay up. And we're going to look to the reaching hand. Lengthen across the chest. Keep breathing. Good. Let's switch it. Right leg out and left sole in. And again, some of us, this knee might stick up. You can push it a little bit down. Again, we never force anything, but if you like, push it down. Right on right. You could use the strap that we talked about earlier. You can grab the shin if you prefer, or the toes, and breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, fold it down. And excellent, over and over. Out breath on the downward fold. Excellent. Next time you're up, go ahead and stay up. We're going to look to the reaching hand, and we're going to continue to breathe. Good. Those of you that want to put the hands down and do the vinyasa, go ahead. The rest of us, again, will reverse plank, lifting up, looking at the ceiling. Good. We're going to come down. We're going to do another version of this Jhana Sirsasana today. We're going to, with both hands, reach out. If you can get the toes, cool. Or both hands on the strap or both hands on the shin, because we want to maintain our back kind of straight and the face looking straight forward. So it looks like this, and we're going to breathe here. I mean, if you're used to doing the forward fold and that's what you want to do, go ahead, but this affects the lower back a little differently than that forward fold does. Great, let's do the other side. I'm going to do it this way. So again, you can hold with the strap, and you get the toes, or you can just get the shin, but we look straight forward and we breathe. Good. Those of you that want a vinyasa, hands down, step back. The rest of us are going to, again, reverse plank. Great. And back down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Put the left hand on top with the right hand on top of that. And see, my knees are way up. You want your knees to go down as much as they will naturally. This is kind of a difficult one for me. You can butterfly if you like. Sit up tall. You feel the arms running straight, so the shoulders are pulling back and down as the top of the head reaches up. Good. Go ahead, forward fold. Push the elbows against the legs. Fold your face towards your feet. You can also lengthen out and fold your heart towards the feet. You may want to experiment with how that affects your body and choose the one that gives you the best action that you are looking for. And let's breathe here. Come back up. We're going to reverse plank. I'm going to do one of the vinyasas with the vinyasa people. So we step back, we lower down, up dog, and down dog. And then we're going to sit again. And from the reverse plank, you also sit again. We're going to take the right heel and stick it under the left hip. And the left leg is going to come all the way over. This is going to be a bit of a hip twist, but more on the outside of the hips rather than the underside, which many of the hip poses get. Shoelace pose. This might be difficult for you sitting up tall. If you want, right hand grabs the left shoelace here, and we pull back. You can also push into the mat, lift up, and kind of adjust forward. You could stay here holding the knees down, or you could reach the right arm up, bring it down the back, and then come around and grab the elbow. Push your head back with the strength of your neck and torso to open up through the shoulders so you're staring straight forward, and let's breathe. Great, let that all down, and let's do the other side. So the right heel is going to come all the way over here so you can see it's just a bit underneath the left hip. And then that knee is like an arrow pointing straight forward. The right foot jumps the leg, and you're welcome to stay here like this. You're welcome to, because for some people this pose is very, very hard. And we'll take the left hand and grab the right foot. And for me, this side's a little tighter. I need that push into the mat, a little more of that. You can push the knees down together. And then those of you that want, left arm up, down the back, push the head against the arm, and then grab the elbow. If you're real flexible, I didn't say on the other side, but you can come around and get the arms together. And I can't do that because of a broken collarbone. Maybe that'll be Monday's story. Let's breathe. Good, unwind it. Those of you that want a vinyasa, vinyasa. The rest of us are going to just put the legs out and reverse plank. Remember, your fingers are pointing straight forward. We just lift up. Good. Back down. We're going to cross the legs. You can just do a simple cross. I'm going to do this because, like I said, some stuff's really hard for me. This was easy for me. So it's not all one size fits all. You'll find your pieces that are easy for you, and you'll find your parts that are difficult for you. Do the difficult parts. Hands on the shoulders if you like. We'll take a breath in on one side, breath out on the other side, and then back and forth. Find the side that's got a little tightness on it more than the other side, and put the out breath there. You could come up. It's a little more leverage. You could do a goddess posture with the mudra, the wisdom on the top. Could also come way out. Be careful if you do that. It's a lot of leverage. Out breath on the tight side. All right. Right hand grabs the left knee. Left hand goes right behind you. So we pull the left shoulder back, and then we gently look back. So the neck's not turning. The shoulders and the torso are turning. And we'll stay here. You could come all the way around and grab the pocket. If you were to notice, it would be the foot of the shirt. And we'll breathe. Good, let's come all the way over to the other side. Left on right, and then right hand either right behind you or coming around. So as you see, I don't have a foot on this side, and that's because traditionally it's done as full lotus if you're going to use the foot, but I'm not doing full lotus, and I don't advise it for anyone. But if it comes natural to you, great. And as a kid, it came natural to me. Just the right knee after a while didn't like it anymore. Good, back around. Those of you that want to do the push-up, go ahead. And the vinyasa, the rest of us are going to, again, a reverse plank. Good, and then from that reverse plank, we'll tuck those feet under, and we're going to come forward to hands and knees, because we are going to do cat and cow. Knees are 2 fists apart, so if you put your fist down there, that's how far. Shoulders over the wrists, middle finger straight forward. Let's actually experiment with the opposite of that. Go slow. Turn that right hand around and put it down with now the thumb pointing out and away. That can be a little bit intense. If you don't like it, don't do it. And then maybe the other hand, and then maybe cat. That is a serious, serious forearm stretch for me. Good. Turn the hands back around with the hands right straight forward, and let's do that cat and cow I talked about earlier. In-breath happens when the belly drops down. Good. Let's come to center, look over the right shoulder, see the tail. Good. And then all the way over to the other side, see the tail. Back to center. I'm going to move back, but I'm going to start by putting my toes down and then coming up, and then the thumbs in the back here. Knees stay 2 fists apart. With the thumbs in the back, try to pull the elbows together and look at the ceiling. Those of you that are flexible in your back are welcome to put the hands down, which is why we're on the toes, and you touch the heels. Tighten your legs a little bit. Look at the ceiling. If you're real flexible, put the feet flat, come for the heels there, or just keep your thumbs in the back. It'll just be a few more breaths. Good. Come back down. We're doing cat-cow again. The belly drop down, arch the back. Going back to center, look over the right shoulder, see the tail again. And over to the other side. Good. Back to center. We're going to step the right foot top of the mat. If you've got a hard surface, you can double up the mat underneath the left knee. Bring the right foot far enough forward that you start to feel the left quad stretching right in through here. And we're going to reach right up. And we're going to breathe. Good. Let's take the opposite arm, the opposite of the leg that's in the front, so it's our left. We're going to bring that outside. Hands in prayer, pull in towards the body. Return the fingers up to the face. You can look right down at the foot, or the elbow right here should try to point straight up to the ceiling, where you could also look. You see my shoulders are stacked like a keyhole. That's what you're going for. Don't push the knee around. Those of you that want can come straight in the back leg. Otherwise, it's easy Friday. Keep the knee down and let's breathe here. Good. Hands down. Let's step back for a second and then other side. So left up. If you want to flip the mat now under the right knee, you can. We'll bring that left foot forward so we're stretching the right quad. And then up with the arms like a big funnel. Let the hips hang down and breathe. Let's twist again, opposite arm, the right elbow outside of the left knee. Hands in prayer, pull in, turn the fingers up. You can roll back on the ball of the back foot if you like. Otherwise, we look down at the toe or we look up to the pointing elbow. Let's breathe here. Lengthen the tail to the crown of your head. Good. Those of you that want a vinyasa, the rest of us are going to go back to hands and knees for one moment. The vinyasa people can catch up to us because we're going to step the right foot now to the top of the mat. You can scooch it forward. This time, arms straight up, Superman style. And we're going to stay here and breathe. Great. Let's bring the hands down. The hand should initially be right next to the foot on the inside, and the left hand with the wrist underneath the shoulder here. And then if you choose to, you can begin to walk these hands forward and bend the arms until your elbows come down on the mat. But please keep the leg pulling against your shoulder or side, and let's breathe here. I like to look at the mat, keep breathing. Great. Let's step that leg back. Let's switch sides. So left foot up there to the top. And you can step it forward so you're starting to feel the right quad stretching, and then straight up with the hands, and we breathe here. And good, let's bring those hands down on the inside. Hand right next to the foot, shoulder, knee pulling the pushing against the shoulder. You can walk forward and maybe the elbows go down, maybe just the arms are bent. They'll get down maybe eventually. And again, no rush, and it's easy Friday. Again, I like to look at the mat. You could look forward. Good, step that leg back and let's sit down. So once we sit down, we're gonna do the core work. We're gonna do a slightly different version of this today just so we can mix it up. So instead of grabbing the shins, we're gonna do a twist today. So we'll start with the twist so we can take some time because it'll be a little bit quick when we actually do it. So we're gonna take the left elbow outside of the right leg and the right hand right behind us, and then pull back and we twist here. And then we just go to the other side. It's kind of quick. And then let's come back to center. Arms under the legs for number one. We stay here. If you like, let go. If you like, straight the legs, hands in prayer to the toes with the third eye. It's easy Friday if you want to keep, every day can be easy Friday, by the way. If you want to keep the legs bent, we'll breathe here. Good, so put the heels down and we do that twist. Elbow outside on the left, and then all the way around to the other side. Good, back up, number two. Breathe here. Good, we do the twist. Left elbow outside. Right elbow outside. Back around, number three. Good, heels down. We twist again. Excuse me. And the other side. Number four. That's how I do my counting, by the way. It was 1, 2, 3. We got that one last. The thumb is left. Good. Outside. Other side. Back, number 5. Here we are. Excellent. Let's hug the knees in and lie back. Once lying back, you could bring the nose up to the knees and squeeze the shins down. You could actually get the forearms up there and bring the nose up and pull them down. And then let's put the feet flat on the mat. So feet and knees are 2 fists apart. Longest finger almost touches the heel, not quite. You could put a little bit more forward. So we're going to do another different kind of hip opener. It's our thread the needle. Right leg comes up. We're going to put the right ankle just down the inside of the left knee. Right arm comes, feeds through. You can grab the shin or the underside of the leg, and then the other hand comes from the outside and meets. So right arm, right leg bent and up, and then lay back. And we'll stay here. Bring the toes towards the shins, flexing the feet, and let's breathe. Good. Let's put the feet down. We'll do the other side. So left up, and you can see how much it comes down there. So, and then left feeding through, and you come up to get a hold of the shin, but then ultimately lay back down and bring the toes towards your shin. So we're moving the feet like that, and let's breathe here. Good. Let's put both feet down again. We're going to do bridge, feet and knees 2 fists apart. Lift the hips. You could do Urdhva Dhanurasana, uneasy Friday if you like. Intertwine the fingers, push the arms down, tuck those shoulders under. You saw me doing that so I could get up a little bit higher. So you're up on the shoulders, head stays down unless you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana. You could do supported, putting your thumbs under the lower back. We're going to breathe here. Good. Back down. You don't have to use it, but if you have access to a belt or a piece of rope or a strap or an old t-shirt or a new t-shirt or a towel, we're going to wrap something around the left foot. We're going to lay down, so I'm just setting up here. And then we're going to, and if you don't have one of those, you can just hold the leg behind, but let the head lay down, left leg straight up, laying flat, keeping the right leg on the mat. Let the leg fall out to the left as you reach your arm out to the right and look to the right. Good. Back up. Switch the hands either on the leg or the strap, and we come all the way over. So the hip has to come up. Try to keep the shoulders flat. We'll look over to the reaching hand to the left. Good. Back up. You don't need the strap. Both hands. Please, if you can, get above the knee joint and then bring the nose up so the shoulders are coming off the mat for this one. Do your best to hold this guy out in the front, the right leg down. Good. Let that down. So we will do the other side. So we strap the right foot, lift it up, lay down flat, or just hold behind the leg if you prefer. Lots of breathing here. Left leg down. Good. Let that leg fall out to the right as you look to the left at the reaching arm. Good. Back up. We switch hands on the foot, the leg, or the strap. The right arm reaches out. We look to the right. Good. Back up. Both hands above the knee. You don't really need the strap. And we'll stay here. Good. Let it down. So, oh, that messed my hair up. We're going to go to the wall and do inversion work. If you want to do plow, shoulder stand, or headstand, this will be the part of the sequence where you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, again and always, it's Easy Friday. I'm going to go back up here and just put my legs up the wall. You could put them up on your couch laying down just so that the legs are inverted. The wall I like the best. And we're going to stay here for a long session of breathing. You got to put the hip against the wall. And then we lay down and up, arms out, and let's stay here. Again, and always, you can bring the legs apart if you prefer. I'm going to leave them up today just to get the different circulation in the legs. You can stay on the wall if you like. You can stay on the wall for the last little bit here. Well, it's actually our long meditation night. Or take a moment and get yourself as comfortable as possible. I have talked about having the rolled up mat on your spine, which I can show you. Got my mat all the way over the other. So here, laying down with the mat, running the length of your spine so that the top of the mat here is kind of at the base of the skull. It's a nice opening of the chest and, more than anything, the upper back. Otherwise, just get as comfortable as possible. We're going to lay down. The way that we're going to do meditation tonight is a body awareness meditation. And I may actually play some guitar once we get all set up, but let's go in slow. So let me go back. So we want to put the hands on the core. with the longest finger touching. And then when you breathe in, the fingers come apart, and when you breathe out, they come back together. But let your body do the breathing just naturally, and just be aware of those fingers. You know, every time they touch, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna be aware of it, and let that put you into a nice meditative state. And we're gonna lay here for a good long run tonight. So get as comfortable as you like. Turn off the lights if you like. I'm gonna adjust the light. And once we get settled in, which we are doing slowly, just feeling the body breathing itself, I'm gonna play a little bit of guitar today, which I don't think I've done in a while. We're going to stay laying down and we're going to do a twist. If you're in a really perfect space and you just want to stay laying down, that's totally awesome. But from the laying down position, those of you that want to come along, gently reach the arms all the way out. We're going to do the twist that we end most of the classes with. So bring the knees up into your chest with the arms out like a T. And then we're going to let the legs fall over to the right. As we look to the left, you can put the right hand on the knees and we'll take a few breaths here. Let's come all the way up and then over to the other side for the second half of that twist. Left hand can push the knees down. We look to the right and breathe here. Then back to center. And then let's roll ourselves up to a seated position for those of you that want to end so that we can end together. And again, you're welcome to stay laying down and let the class sign off on its own if you're really comfortable. Just go ahead and please stay there comfortably. If you want to unmute yourself, we're going to do our little voice out at the end. This, our little I'm alive shout. Let's bring the hands to the heart center and rub them together. Hope everyone's feeling very comfortable and very good and loose. All right. Let's reach the arms all the way up like a big funnel. We're going to take a breath in as much as we can get. Excuse me. Let's breathe in more. Let's breathe in more. Hold tight core, tight legs, tight floor if you like. And then let it out nicely. All right, man. So, you're living your dream, don't miss it. Namaste. Now you know all the magic moment where that came from. And everybody knows it well. It's danieloverberger.com. You can go there and find the links to my PayPal and my Venmo to send donations for the class. I appreciate all the donations you guys have sent me. It's been really great. And well, thank you. I'm going to turn the recording off. And if anyone wants to say hello, you're welcome to open your mic and say hello.